Hey everyone, Laurel here. I'm in Minnesota, Zone 5A. Just want to give you a little update of the things that I'm overwintering. It is mid-February, so we're kind of right in the dead middle of winter here in the north. And we had one another week of frigid cold temperatures, and now some even more cold temperatures this next week before it warms up a little bit. So below average even for Minnesota, like I don't know, 24 hours where we don't go above 0 degrees, that kind of thing. Um, but then we get back to normal in maybe the 20s and 30s after that. And we got a bunch of snow this week, total of maybe, I don't know, 8 inches or so. So everything outside has a nice winter blanket to keep it nice and snug, which is great. These are the shelves that I got off of Amazon to overwinter, mainly annuals that I had either bought on clearance or been growing over the growing season last year. I did purchase from Amazon. Barina is the brand, but they are these 3-foot grow lights. Try not to shine you out, but they do now span the length of the shelf. I got a set of 8, so I've got 2 lights on each shelf. I've used those for my seed starting. I got the last couple of years. These have worked really well. And you can see I started some seeds now. These are the things that take a little while to get going, and we'll go through those. These are shoe racks from IKEA where the legs collapse, so they store a little bit flat. And then I just zip tied. These are 2-foot grow lights that I have connected to each other here. Strap 2 of each of these on the bottom of these seed trays. They work great. They just barely fit across like a 10 by 20 tray, your sort of standard seed tray, but I like these. I think I'm going to buy some more 10 by 10 trays, but then I have these from Gardener's Supply. These are like the self-watering, although I don't use the self-watering feature very often. But I use these seed starting trays from Gardener's. I really like them. They're nice and sturdy. You can reuse them for years. And then you can also purchase the individual components of them separately. So like, these aren't as sturdy. So if something breaks or you lose something or whatever, it just wears out, you can buy individual pieces to fit. So I have the 24 cell trays and the 12 cell trays. Right now I have 2 of these shoe racks set up with only 3 of the light bars. And then I have some heating mats. I mainly only use these indoors until the seeds germinate. And then once they're germinated, I turn off the mats because they don't need that heat when they're inside of a heated house, at least not the stuff that I'm growing. Some things benefit from it. I mainly use these heat mats because I start seeds out on the porch in March and April when it does get very chilly, especially and overnight temperatures can really drop, not to freezing out there at that time of year, but seeds metabolize a lot of energy as they're growing. And so I keep those heat mats on, especially warm season crops like onions and peppers that really benefit. They grow faster if they have some heat underneath them when they're out on an unheated porch. But being out there, they do get the benefit of full sunlight from the time they germinate. So the hardening off process is very, very easy. And I've gotten my seed mats from everywhere. I found them on clearance at garden centers, ordered them from Amazon. There are lots of affordable options on Amazon. Yeah, so far so good. These are a couple of snake plants. This one I brought home from the office to repot. But now it's been so cold that I don't want to bring it back till it warms up a little bit. So it's going to live down here for a little while. And then this one I need to repot it. The roots, it's just not potted deep enough. I need to pot it a little bit deeper. Things inside of the shelves are doing well. This little maizu kind of got frozen outside early on, but now it's looking good. I saw some signs of sprouts. And then I left some of these. There were these little random seedlings that popped up in various planters, and I left them because I had everything planted by Impatiens and other things at Self Seeds. Now I have a little Impatient growing in the middle there. This vinca I bought on clearance. I like to do my amaryllis bulbs. I don't start them till after Christmas. I overwinter them dormant, start pulling them in about August, and stop watering and let them go dormant. I could bring them out, pull them in earlier and bring them out earlier and have them for Christmas, but sometimes they take a while to get going, and there are already so many pretty decorations and so many cheerful things at Christmas time that I like having something else to replace it after Christmas, that in the middle of winter I can enjoy these beautiful blooming amaryllis. So we've got a couple more Meizu over here. Some of the begonias, they can shock a little bit. They can be a little bit touchy, but they are showing signs of growth and sprouting. These are all Rex begonias, various varieties that I had growing out on in my garden. There's one back there that died back all the way, but you can see it's just full of sprouts now. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Maybe not. That one kind of in the back corner. Rosemary, I don't know. I let it dry out a little bit too much. It didn't like that. Here's another vinca that I got on clearance late season. This was an experiment. I also keep letting this dry out too much. I forget how dry it is indoors in the wintertime sometimes, so I don't check on these as much as I should. The method I use, you can see I have everything in, let's see if I can open this up a little bit more. I have everything in like a plastic pot. And then if I have a metal pot, it's just sort of a catch pot style, so that I can just soak all of these in a tub full of water all at once for 24 hours. It doesn't even take that long. I usually leave them for a day and then pull them out. You can see all the little seedlings popping up in that begonia back there. Those are probably impatiens as well. But yeah, a bunch of stuff. A few more Rex begonias down here. This poor little guy got frozen in the garage. We had really cold temperatures early on in December, like colder than normal for that time of year, or even in November, actually. And because we had brought the kittens indoors, oh, I can see a bloom starting to sprout in this, I think it's a bloom. It looks fatter than a leaf. Yep, that's a bloom. So I don't know if you can see that right there. This little thing poking up from the stem, that is a bloom stalk starting. This was overwintered. These stay out in the sun outside all summer. I keep them well watered. And then I bring them in once they go dormant. They just sit in the basement till the leaves die off and Christmas is over. And then some of them I repotted. The two down here I repotted, or at least refreshed the soil that was in there. Added a little fertilizer. But then they stay dormant until you start watering them. And as soon as you give them water, then they sprout back. It takes a while for the roots to rehydrate. Some people take them out of soil and then soak the roots and then replant them in soil. I'm too lazy for that. So it just takes a little while longer. Once you soak the soil, then the roots rehydrate and then things start growing. But it doesn't take too long. But leaving them out in the sun and watering them all summer really helps recharge those bulbs for the next year. And I've read that amaryllis are very long-lived plants. As long as they are in the right conditions, they'll outlive me if they want to. If they're in the right conditions, they live for like 80, 90 years, something like that. So pretty amazing. And then we've got beautiful geraniums down here that are blooming. That one I think is the Americana Coral. Yeah. I bought on clearance. There's another Rex begonia that came from the garden or from clearance last year. And then this is the, what's that one called? Calliope Rose Mega Splash. And I know I shouldn't be letting them bloom, but they just look so healthy that this one is actually huge. So I don't know if I'll overwinter that another year or not. These little cordyline are dead, but this one picked up some creeping Jenny, so I'm just keeping it here for now. This is the tub I use. This is the laundry tub from IKEA. You can see all the water in there that I just fill that up part way, a few inches, and put anything in there that needs to be watered and will fit, and then let it soak for a day. But yeah, bringing the cats in the fall, getting the house set up and everything ready was priority. And then I just didn't have space to bring all these plants in where the cats couldn't get to them because they love to excavate in the dirt. So So that is the setup here. I think I'll go over, might set up the camera and just do a little bit of a seed haul. What I bought this year, what I planted, this little, there's nothing to see because I just planted everything yesterday, so it's just dirt. This tray of 12, I've got 3 varieties of geranium. Maverick Salmon, these were, my aunt grew these last year from seed and then harvested some seeds. So I just put in a whole bunch of seeds in there. Bullseye Salmon, I bought this one this year. And that is like a salmon bloom, but with the leaf is green with a brown center. I think that's the Bullseye line is like that. Maverick Scarlet Picotee, I grew those last year. They did very well. So I started those. I always start multiple seeds in each of the cells too, in case they don't germinate. But these things all take a little bit longer. Something like a zinnia or cosmos or peppers or tomatoes, at least for me, I wouldn't start now. It's too early for my climate because our last frost date isn't till early May. But all of these things take a little while to get going, and they can be a little bit slow in cooler weather. So Purple Prince Alternanthera, these can be a little bit fussy. You can see this packet I bought last year. I don't know if I'll buy more of these after I use up these seeds because the Proven Winners not Purple Prince, what is it called? Their version of the Alternanthera. I can't remember the name now. Plum Dandy. They're indiscernible from each other. And if that is expensive or you can't get a hold of that, these work great. But Home Depot by me always sells the Plum Dandy for like $3 a piece or $4 a piece. So I don't know if it's worth fussing with the seeds. Arizona Apricot Gallardia. I grew this last year. Only one survived. And again, these were the seeds from last year. I found most of my seeds. The only seeds that I've had trouble with year to year are shallots. They don't last as long, but a lot of seeds last for many years. So don't give up. I had an older packet of Dalmatian Peach Foxglove that I figure I just sprinkled the rest of them in the cells, figuring it's worth a shot, see if anything germinates. I don't know how long foxglove seeds work. I also have Dalmatian Cream Foxglove, which I grew last year from seed. So I did some of those, and then this was a baggie that I collected from the ones I grew last year. I harvested seeds, and so I sprinkled these liberally over a couple of the cells. We'll just see the difference. And then Rudbeckia. I did caramel mix Rudbeckia, which I grew last year too and absolutely loved them. So I had some seeds left over. And then again, I liberally sprinkled some that I had harvested from the plants that I grew. So that is what I seed started. I do mix them up in these trays. Most of them have 4 cells each, and I put multiple seeds in each cell, usually in each corner, sometimes in 4 corners. That way, if my germination, especially on older seeds, if the germination rate isn't super, then I increase my chances of having each cell have a flower in it or a plant in it. And that does mean that I will have to divide them a little bit earlier than if there's just one plant per cell. You do have to split them up, and you want to try to do that before the roots get real full and kind of tangled up with each other. But it's okay. It'll be a while before I have to worry about that. And as for my seed haul, this is what I got, other than that Bullseye Salmon Geranium was a new one. I also got the Sahara Rudbeckia. It's another mix of sort of browns, reds, yellows, like more muted colors of Rudbeckia. So I sowed those, and hold on. Let me take off I forgot I had them all bound together here with a rubber band. So I got those. I picked these up at a big box store of some kind, just a red pepper, as if I need any more pepper seeds. I have a gajillion of them. I really like this brand, Renee's Gardens. They have some interesting varieties, and I can find those at several garden centers around town. I got these at Gerton's. Velouette, Cosmos, look interesting. It's a mix. And I am going hard on snapdragons this year. Lots of snapdragons. They did so well last year. I have grown them in years before, but didn't have the best of luck. I think because I sat there with a toothpick and individually sowed each seed, and it was a pain. And I think they want to be a little bit, they don't want to be that babied. They might thrive on a little bit more neglect. So I got the Twinny Peach. That is a dwarf variety, like a super short dwarf variety that does well in small containers. I've grown that before. Potomac Lavender. I also have some Potomac Red left over, which I grew last year and are beautiful. Madame Butterfly Cherry Bronze. It's kind of orange with pink. Madame Butterfly Bronze with white, more of like a peach and white one. That's a popular one. I got the Early Sunrise mix, which is kind of sunrise colors, those pinks, oranges, peaches, with a little bit of like purple mixed in there. Looked really pretty blend. Monaco Orange, I think self-explanatory. Cannes Orange. Cannes Rose, more of a pink. I also got the Bennery's Giant Carmine Rose Zinnia. I haven't grown the Bennery's Giant varieties before. And they get tall, but they're called giant because the flowers are huge. So I thought I'd try those. My absolute favorite shallots are the Matador variety. I do have a couple varieties, I think Innovator and Zebrun left over from last year, so I will sow all three. But I ran out of Matador. These I bought last year. I have, after the first 2 years of shallot seeds usually have pretty good germination, and then it really starts to drop off after that if they're stored properly. So be mindful of that. Piccadilly cabbage. It's one of those like pointy green cabbages that I thought was kind of interesting, and my green cabbage seeds are super old, so, and those are a little bit more compact. And then I got a lettuce mix. I love the Salanova lettuce from Johnny's, but I do have several seed packets left of that. And I thought I'd just try this one, Adriana. It looked pretty good. I forget, no, I think it was, oh yeah, it's a butterhead lettuce, it says right on there. I don't know why this packet is so huge, but I think they're pelleted. Or either that, or sometimes I'll put just a color on them, which really helps with sowing. Lettuce seeds are tiny, and then onion seeds are not tiny, but they are like black, so they're hard to see in the soil. Snapdragons, I am just going to sprinkle them like that. Take a few in my hand and just sprinkle them like that in different cells. I did that last year, and they seemed, with very old seeds that I had that were maybe 5 years old, and they seemed to sort of thrive on neglect. So that is my plan again this year with all the snapdragons. I also got this knife. Hang on, let me see if I can set this up here. Okay, we'll see how this goes. As I say, I do not have a sophisticated operation here. So I got this knife from Johnny's. I won't focus now on the brand, but here is the packaging for it. Made in France, as it says on the handle too. I'm going to use it like a harvest knife, but I wanted something that I could fold up, because when I take pruners in my shorts pockets, sometimes they don't, they like poke holes in my pockets, the pruners, and I don't want to carry around a case or attach anything. I'm usually wearing knit shorts. So this one's kind of neat because you can unlock it, open it up like this, and it's a 10mm blade. And then, or is it centimeter? And then you can lock it so it can't shut on you. And then you have a nice little harvest knife. I got that from Johnny's as well. I ordered that with my seeds. So excited about using that. Then you unlock it, fold it up, lock it shut, and pop it back in my pocket. So I can just throw this in my pocket, and it's lightweight too. And I like that there's no plastic. It's the wood and metal. So excited about that new purchase. And I think that's it. I think that's all I've got for today. So just wanted to share everything with you. I do have this other timer. This is like one of those basic That's when I have the heat mats are on all the time. They're not on a timer, but the grow lights are on for 14 hours. And then this is the style of timer that I have for these shelves. And those are on for, I think, 8 hours because these plants they're not seedlings, so they don't need a huge amount of light. So yeah, this is my equipment. You can see I'm down in the basement, I'm sure. I showed this in a previous video, but this is my tub that I got from Fleet Farm in the automotive department a few years ago. That has been fantastic. That is a great tub for potting, and it was super inexpensive, but it's really sturdy. This is my favorite seed starting mix that I've tried anyway, the Coast of Maine seed starter. Fabulous. Honestly, any of their soil mixes are my favorite that I've tried. I have like their potting mix in the pink bag. That stuff is amazing, but it's hard to find, a little more expensive, although I think for smaller projects like my house plants, it's worth it. I usually buy it for that. This is just garden soil. It's a Gerton's brand from the nursery. And then here's a tip too. So I have these trays here. These are the other seed starters, but this Target has these right now, and they're that section right up front with like $1, $3, $5 items. These boot trays are $5 each, and super sturdy and tough. So I got a couple of these from Target. They don't have any flat ones. They've got different designs that have all the little ridges, but I thought these would be really handy for plants and seed starting and whatever. So, and they're real sturdy. So there's a tip. Go check your Target, see if they have those. And, oh, I didn't share when I was filming this whole time, this is my seed savers box. Here, let me unload everything. Just have to go back inside anyways. This is from Gardener's Supply. I did splurge on their seed storage, the galvanized seed storage container. When it was on sale, I waited till they had a sale. I love the size of it. It fits everything I could need. I kind of have them in like early sow or sow indoors, separated by like edible things like vegetables, etc., versus flowers in each of these 4 sections. And then I've just saved, like, it comes with a bunch of these little tags, but it's, I don't know, not real handy to write on those. So what I did is I just cut like food containers that had like boxes, like, what would you call it? What are those? I mean, kind of like a cereal box. You could do, these were protein bar boxes, I think. So I like the white inside, and just cut them to size and use those as my plant tags. This box also comes with a bunch of these seed saver packets. That's what I have this Rudbeckia in, is one of the ones that came in here. But I also have gotten these, which are handy for smaller things, on Amazon, like a pack of 100 of these little, they're also like for coins, I think. You can find them under on Amazon. And then this pocket, I accidentally rebought these. I already own them, so I'm going to return those. But then I just have more Ziplocs of seeds that I've saved from my garden. So I do really like this box. You know, little rodents, mice, etc. can't get in here. The only thing, and then it has handles on the side to carry it around. I think it's not perfect. The only thing that would make it perfect, in my opinion, is having a latch and a handle on the top so you could carry it around, kind of like a toolbox. I was looking at toolboxes, but I couldn't find any that I thought would really function quite right. I wanted it to be made for seeds with spacers like this, not space for like hammers and screwdrivers and stuff. I wanted seeds, so that's why I decided to go with the Gardener's one. I have found straps that you can, like carrying straps on Amazon, that you could strap around it and carry it that way, like a handle, but I find I don't really move it around that much anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But that would be my one feedback to gardeners, is add a latch so you could close it, and then that might help with rodents too, just in case you got some real strong mice or something, or rats even. And then a handle for toting it around. But otherwise, I really like this seed saver box, and it'll last a really long time. So yeah, that's it. Just a midwinter update, you know, when we're all kind of dying to get back in our gardens and get in the dirt, plant some pretty things. Just wanted to share what is keeping me going through the winter. Ooh, another hot tip. I got all different sizes of these, also from Target, super cheap, really heavy duty little plant trays. Like some of the nicer ones I've ever seen, and they're really inexpensive at Target. They are a steal. Like the big one, the big 12-inch one is $1.25, at least where I am. So and I like that they have a flat bottom. I mean, not completely flat, but they don't have little bumps that stick out. So on a wire shelf, they sit flat, which is great on an uneven surface. So yeah, head to Target if you need some plant trays, because these are a steal. I'll probably pick up some more. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's winter is going well. I know sometimes it seems like we're just kind of inching through it bit by bit, but then I also can't believe it's already past Valentine's Day. So there is hope yet that spring is coming. So thank you again so much for watching. Have a great day. Please subscribe.